Hello, this is Victor from RestoreYourMercedes.com. Here we have throttle body from C220, 96 C220. Here's the part number, is 00014192225. Now this unit is for Tom in Iowa. So the unit itself seemed to be okay except for wires. So here a resemblance of the wires that I cut out from it. Some pieces of it, as you can see, some loose insulation pretty badly. Basically insulation was still there, but second you touched it, it would just fall right off. So if there's moisture in there, readings will be influenced by that, of extra moisture that creates extra resistance, and computer can have fault reading for reference potentiometers. So these are some, like I said, just insulation that I cut out. So this is clean area. Just wanted to show that. Now, in order to remove the one, it's not just as easy as the others. Actually, it's a little more involved. I do not really break off all these welds. I leave them alone. But you have to cut out this retaining. You have to grind this down. Right here, this is a retainer for the gear. Once you do so, the gear can be pulled forward, and then in this area there's like a cover that I had to break open so I can feed my wires through the hole, and also secondary wire for the motor. As you can see, it's under the gear, so it's not easy to solder it if the gear is all the way against the terminal, so it's difficult. So once you remove that retainer, then the gear can be pushed, and then you have just enough space to get to those connector to that terminal, really. So I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna test the unit, and then I'm going to actually weld this retainer back so the gear does not flap around, so it stays in the same position. I'm gonna use a flux wire welder, and just gonna put a couple of spots here just to keep it in place. You don't want it to flap around. It looks like it's not going to cause many problems, even if it will just actually flap around back and forth, because there's still enough space. It seems like it's going to work, but we want to do it right. So I'm going to weld it back. So I'll put it back here just so I don't lose it. So let it be. Alright, now this unit is pretty simple. Actually, the throttle body seemed to only do idle correction. As you can see, when I move the lever, move the gear, it just opens and closes, butterflies slightly. So there is no clutch coil. There are two potentiometers, switch, and the motor. Basically, that's all there is to it. On this side, we only have linkage, and it's basically purely mechanical. If I move the linkage, as you can see, it opens mechanically, except for this very area at idle, where it activates the micro switch here. You can clearly hear it clicking. Okay, so that's the engagement for the idle. So when the throttle is fully closed, it's idle. Close the idle contact switch if you wish. So that's what it does. Okay, so let's get to the readings. Let's get to the testing. Now let me put it back here on the tripod. Alright, so for the test, what I'm gonna do is, I have my connector here, I have my diagrams on the computer there, so I can see which pins go where. Before I cut them open, I recorded where pins supposed to go. So what I'll do first actually is, I have 5 volts set up on my power supply, so I'm going to activate the motor with only 5 volts. This motor, just to show that it works. As you can see, when I give power, motor works. So idle does work. Okay, idle correction should be fine. The motor works fine. So that's in terms of the motor. So the next thing we want to do is, I just set my multimeter to automatic, and we're gonna do the resistance check on potentiometers. Now, it's quite funny the way this potentiometer works, to be honest with you. First of all, readings are completely different from 8-cylinder, 12-cylinder, 6-cylinder car. The readings are in kilo ohms, which is 2000 ohms basically. Whereas that in 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder, 12-cylinders, readings go around 600 ohms to 1500 ohms. Whereas here they start at 2000. So that's how it goes. So basically I'm going to open this butterfly, and I'm going to open this throttle. As you can see, the reading goes up 4 kilo ohms and change. And then what's funny about it is when I go further, the reading go up and then it goes down. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what I saw that happen before. So as you can see, about maybe 1/3 way, reading goes up and then it goes down. So I guess that's just the way it's made, because you start off with 2000 and then you go all the way to open. It goes to 4000 and goes down to 2600. So that's kind of strange, but that's just the way it is, seems like. Okay, so the readings work, so the potentiometer works, I can tell that. Say the other side of this potentiometer, see what happens there. 2800 there to start off with. Same thing, reading goes up 4000 ohms, 4 kilo ohms, and then it drops back down. In this case, because I connected it to the other side of the potentiometer, reading went lower. So it seemed to be alright. That's how it's supposed to be, I guess, because that doesn't make sense to me, but I've seen that happen before, so I guess I'm not gonna break it all apart to destroy it just to see it, so I'll leave it be the way it is. But you can see readings go up and down, so that's good. Now the second potentiometer, basically the second one gives you different readings also. Second potentiometer is actually on this very lever. First potentiometer we tested was this one. This one sweeps all the way, left and right. Actually, you can see probably. It's the first potentiometer we did is this one. That's the throttle potentiometer. As you can see, it follows with the smaller lever. Sorry. Now the second potentiometer is on the big lever, on this lever. So basically, when you move this lever, your readings change, as you can see. Now I can have this one all the way open, for example, just so you know that the second potentiometer does not move. So I just only activate a lever. That's for idle control. And as you can see, it reacts pretty good. So it's that plus the second side of it, the other side of it there. As you can see, readings also change, so there is no open circuits here. And of course I cleaned it, so readings became a little better actually when I cleaned the case internally. And that's in terms of the potentiometers and the motor. And the last thing to do would be idle contact switch. So we go 5 and 6. Now that's the switch I'm talking about here, the one on the linkage. So it's open right now, as you can see. So when I close it, you have about 700 ohms of resistance. I open it, let go, it opens up, and then we have infinite. So the switch works. It goes through the circuit board, so therefore the resistance is so high. So it's just they have added that resistance on the board, I'm sure. So that seemed to be fine to me. I mean, I don't see a problem with this unit anymore. I cleaned it up as good as I can. There was some etching of the metal. Aluminum basically etched itself out. So, well, corrosion and whatnot, but so far, as you can see inside, I tried cleaning that, and it's just basically embedded. I do not want to scratch it because this is polished, so I don't want to put gouges in it. And so yeah, so this is it. I mean, this is the wire and loom. I just replaced the wires right here with my loom, cut the connector open as you can see it, and tested it. So this seemed to be fine to me. This unit goes to double check customer's unit, and I don't believe that customer's unit is bad by any means. It's just that I think he has a problem with coils, ignition coils. But I'll just mail it out, just see how it turns out, and it should be fine. Alright, well, more information on repairs, throttle body repairs, can be found on my website. That's restoreyourmercedes.com. Thanks for watching.